this. So let's see what this is about. I haven't read these yet, actually. So this is, I've yet to read these. So we'll see what it looks like here. So guys, general rules for the disc server. No sexism, racism. Okay, yeah, I mean standard. Yeah, 100%. Banter's okay. Don't cross the line. Absolutely. That's how I try to run. That's how I try to run my Discord as well, personally. So fair there. Super server rules, guys. So this is the super server rules. The server will be divided into tier 1 and tier 2 companies. Obviously, companies will naturally move up or down, and those companies' status will be reevaluated constantly. Interesting. So okay, so this is something already to talk about for me. So who's going to be doing the ranking? Because this could really tilt certain people. The server will be divided into tier 1 and tier 2 companies. Companies moving up and down. You know, I guess we'll see what it looks like when it comes to how they decide who's a tier 1 and tier 2 company. But I could see even just that. I mean, look, people get pissed whenever I misplace somebody in a ranking, let alone I don't know, somebody else doing it. So rankings based on what you decide. Shit. I mean, look, I would love to be a huge part of this in the sense of at least catching a lot of what goes down. You know, I'm gonna catch as much as I can, because like, dude, if there's a super server, I'm in love. Like this, I love these companies. I love the wars, and these are gonna be bangers. So Merc and alt rules with regards to merking. Hey Cosmo, hey, thanks for the resub, man. Much love, much love. Thanks for the resub. 4 months. Let's get it. Let's go. Thank you, dude. So let's go. Let's get in this. Merc and alt rules with regards to merking and alting. Players will be primarily locked into their mains for T1 wars only. You will not be allowed to play an alt to bypass the war cooldown or the company cooldown to enter into other tier 1 wars. For example, if a player plays a dropouts versus supple war, they are locked from playing other T1 wars for the day, i.e. if blokes versus ego wars occurred following. Those players cannot bypass the war cooldown by playing at all. So essentially what this means, I mean, it's what it says, right? So if they decide that a tier 1 war is happening, if you are in it, you are not allowed to get onto your alt and play in another tier 1 war. But that decision is completely based off of you know, who is a tier 1 and a tier 2 coming down to it. So interesting nonetheless. I think that's, you know, that's kind of cool. It's going to give people more availability. Yo, Horman, no, she stopped leaking. Hey, thanks for the resub. Am I leaking? I mean, I heard that a lot of people were getting this. I heard that a lot of people already had this. Hey, thank you for the resub though. You're kidding? Okay, look, I got nervous. I'm like, Hori, am I not supposed to be? I'm like, look, I don't want y'all to be mad at me. And it spread like fire. Okay, yeah, I'm like, I don't want you guys to be mad at me here. Like, I'll stop. Like, you guys know I only want to support this. So you will go to my Discord writing. Yeah, I bet. We almost have a freaking boost train going down. Let's go, guys. Hey, dude, the resubs are kicking it up a notch. I love y'all. Thanks, man. Thank you guys for the resubs, dude. We almost have a hype train from the damn resubs right now. Let's go. Orin 2.0. Yeah, for sure. Karaoke, look, one biddy doesn't do it, but look, I love you for the, you know, for the thought. You know? Just know, Willie. All right, what am I knowing? Unlock Eden, yeah, for sure, KTP. Lunchbox, hey, Lunchbox, thanks for the boost. Thanks for the 2 subs, man. Hey, love you, bro. Lunchbox always getting it going. Let's go, guys. We got to keep up with this. Most companies are on the same page. Yeah. Interesting to see Karaoke with the 69 biddies. Love you, bro. Hey, look, we got a boost train going, guys. Consider supporting your boy. Look, we're trying to hit that sub goal. Love you guys, but let's keep this going. So, that being said, a player can utilize an alt to play in a tier 2 company while being an active member of a tier 1 company. This will need to be reported to the leadership of the Discord. For example, Oligarchy Run Strict, a tier 2 purple company planning on playing on the super server while also being leadership in dropouts. He is allowed to play on his main and dropouts a tier 1 company and an alt in strict tier 2. If a tier 2 company declares on a tier 1 company, players will be defaulted into playing into their tier 1 main company rule or company unless otherwise cleared by the panel in here. Okay. So there's some minor exceptions, essentially, is what this means. There's some, there are some type of exceptions to the tier 1 and tier 2 company conversation, because there will be situations where tier 2s and tier 1s fight. So this is the answer to that. I mean, so far, look, I think this is solid rules. From what I'm seeing, I think this is very solid rules. It's just a matter of it's just a matter of if this is going to be regulated. You know what I mean? So Willie leaks. Oh my God, Dex, dude, am I really being a problem here? I don't know. Everybody already knows about this. Easy 8, thanks for the follow. To my knowledge, a lot of people have already sent me this. This is a person. This is a DM. Okay, like a lot of people have sent me this. I figured it was like common knowledge at this point. Clowning you? Look, you guys. I know you guys got to clown me. Look, I get it. Look, I know I know how you guys go. I get that. So interesting, but okay, let's get into the next one there. Big Boy Pants, thanks for the follow, man. You guys coming in with the support. Much love. Thank you guys. Let's get it. We still have a hype train going too. Look, guys, let's make it happen. But guys, let's keep it going. So we're gonna be. I'm gonna. Let me go ahead and get Little Willie out here. Let's get Little Willie out here. Actually, I'm gonna put my face up here for now, so you guys can read the bottom. And we'll move the sub goal for a moment. We got Lil Willie. Also, guys, if you guys are followers, I apologize. We might be having ads coming down soon. So I do apologize if you guys get hit with that. I'm sorry. Just giving you guys a heads up. But let's get this going. So, Mercs between. Okay, this is a big one. Mercs between tier 1 companies in the event that 2 tier 1 companies are on the same fashion. For example, Egoed and Blokes on green. As long as the daily war cooldown is not being bypassed, there is no issue with merking players between companies. Okay, makes sense. However, if there is a Blokes versus Dropouts war at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by an Ego versus Supple war at 8, Blokes Ego cannot utilize any alts from the other companies to bypass the war cooldown. Okay, so that makes sense. However, if Blokes versus Dropouts was the only war that day, Blokes is free to use whatever mercs from Ego they prefer or any other company. Okay, so this is the help with the this is the help with the merking. Yeah, how to know if an alt is yeah, Josie, I guess it's going to be through a council. I guess the council is going to be trying to regulate this in honor system. Yeah, like I think that it's going to have to be like within company, honor, and council. So far, I think this all sounds good. Right? Like I think this all sounds good. The only thing I'm worried about is actual execution. So let's go. Let's keep it going, guys. Any disagreements regarding this between companies will be arbitrated before the primary council in the Discord. For example, if Grady and I have a disagreement over a set of mercs, we'll reach out to as many available other company leaders as possible to arbitrate and provide a verdict on our disagreement. In this example, Grady and I would bring our case between the other 4 available council members at the time. In this example case, Arch, Gonzo, Prod, and Ashy, they would hear, discuss, and provide a final decision. I like the idea of having a council. I like the idea of all this so far. I think so far it's a good idea. It's a good plan. It's just a matter of execution, right? I think the execution, if we can get people to actually be on the same page, I think this will be fantastic for the community, in my personal opinion. And I haven't got there yet, but I wonder if there's anything about dodging, because I do worry about some companies getting to a point of dodging. I mean, I think that's kind of what a lot of people are thinking about with whenever you think of super server. A lot of people are kind of worried about like, what does a dodging situation look like? But let's keep it moving forward, guys. Let's keep it going. So respectful declarations. While a tier 1 company can declare on a tier 2 company, it is required for the tier 1 company to be courteous. For example, if Ego declares on Boogaflu and wins in 10 minutes, then dominates the subsequent defense, out of respect to Boog with no outstanding changes, Egoed would refrain from decking on Boogaflu going forward. I actually really like this. I'm not gonna lie. I actually really like this. The respectful declarations, because sometimes we do see like an example where some companies get really far ahead and you can tell they're just like in a really hot streak, and then they completely wipe out the map of everybody else. You know, like they completely wipe out the map map, and they take advantage of the fact that they are actually on that hot streak. So I kind of like it. You know, I kind of like it. I think it makes sense. The reason, and we can talk questions and kind of contemplate after this. I just want to get through it first, and then we can kind of talk about ideas as a community, kind of like bounce it off together after this, guys. So don't worry, I'll be reading your comments after this and all that stuff. I just want to get through this first, and we can kind of hit on some of the points that we see here. So the reason behind this is the entire idea of the server is not for the server to be dominated by a handful of super nerd companies. I like how we had to add that in there. We're looking to balance the server, provide competition for everyone, and allow every single company to have a piece of land carved out for them, and to provide an environment that every single player on NA can both seek competition while also enjoying the game and not feel as though they are bullied out of content. That makes sense. Again, makes sense. Penalties. The primary actionable offense that can be committed with regards to the super server's rules is in actively bypassing the war cooldown. The agreed upon punishment for using an ult to bypass the war cooldown without prior discussion or awareness of the council is a 1-week war blacklist. Ooh, on the first offense, followed by a permanent blacklist. Found violating the rules once again. Damn. Damn. I mean, look, that's actually pretty spicy. That's actually pretty spicy. This would refrain people from actually bypassing that cooldown. A lot of people really love the competitive wars, and I think a lot of players would absolutely not want to get blacklisted. I think that would be horrible for a lot of players. I think a lot of players would cry if they got blacklisted. I know I would. Like, if I wasn't streaming, you guys best believe I would be in these wars. And if I got blacklisted, I would literally be, I would cry. I would be crying myself to sleep at night. That would suck, dude. So interesting. Interesting to see. Can't get blacklisted at all. Yeah, so guys, that was a little bit of the rules for the super server here. That's in talks at the moment. So I think they're pretty cool, right? I mean, I actually really like them. I think this is all done in good faith. In my personal opinion, I think this is all done in good faith. It's just a matter of if everybody can abide to these. I do think that penalty does affect it. I think the penalty does affect it, right? I think if somebody gets blacklisted or they're not allowed to ward, that's going to have actually a big impact on them, and they're going to hate that. So I think that is something that could happen. I think the one biggest thing, there is something for that in here. That's in the respectful declarations. Is that you're in one company, if you're a tier 1 company, you're not allowed to continue bullying tier 2 companies and take all their land. Also, with Brimstone coming out, realistically, only holding 2 territories is about the reality for most companies with the way Brimstones is going to work, but we'll see how it all works out. I do think there's a lot of good ideas, but I hope that I hope that the actual execution at the end of the day is there. So we'll see how it goes moving forward. But I do think that I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I like the idea of having like a council from multiple different companies, right? Get people with cool heads who can talk over some things. I mean, I think it's fantastic. I think the one thing that could really piss a lot of people off is going to be deciding who is a tier 1 and who is a tier 2 company, because there could be a lot of egos that get in the way of that. That's the biggest thing that I'm noticing. There could be a ton of egos that are like, look, we are a tier 1 company, and then people going like, nah, look, you guys are tier 2, and it kind of like being a, that could be like a spark to ignite the flame, and I know that's kind of like the basis behind the whole rules. So that's kind of the main thing that I kind of think about there, just when it comes to that. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Let's have war over it to determine that. Yeah, what about companies sniping decks and gonna have to wait an extra 4 days? Yeah, that is true. Yeah, like other companies who might not be a part of it. I don't know, right? All right, guys, 1 second now. I gotta set up for this war. We are gonna be shoutcasting a war here in a second. So guys, 1 second. Let me get this going. These rules last 2 weeks at best. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. I just hope people don't dodge. I think it's an awesome idea though. Our company, My Willie, i.e. Wrecking, will gladly take tier 69 or 420. Crash. How are they going to obtain land at the beginning? Just push current companies out? Yeah, Nate. Unfortunately, I think that might be the case. I think that's probably the move. Is to probably just bust open the doors and be like, where the hood, where the hood at? And just take over. I think that is probably going to be the move there. So yeah, one second, guys. Let me get. I think we got K Trinity. I think we got K Trinity in the first war here. So we should be getting the man, the myth, the legend in this first war. Unfortunately, I think that is more than unfortunate. Yeah, Chonky. I do feel bad for the natives. Whatever server this is, I do feel bad for the natives. There's a lot more territory for other companies they would take. Yeah, Outer War. So this is kind of lame. Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I kind of think it's cool, but then again, also like I'm a little biased. I'm a little biased because I really love catching the big companies, and to hear that a lot of the big companies are going to be fighting each other, I think it's badass. Again, biased though, you know, you guys know how it goes. I just think it's going to be super cool for the war scene. The wait for another new server to open up. I imagine AGS will open up 1 or 2 servers this week for training players. Yeah, is Supple moving there? Otherwise, River. Yeah, I think Supple is moving there. I do think Supple is going to be a part of that. Again, I'm not sure though. Of whatever server this turns out to be, have nowhere to go. Oh, you're right, Chonky. I didn't even think about that. There's like no other, well, you got one other server, but they are going to be releasing more servers.